Hello, good morning. Here we are, Thursday, getting on through the week now, aren't we? And I hope you're enjoying these sequence of meditations, and they're there for you to work through every week. It's really good to have just a 10-minute practice of meditation and inner work each day. And today we're going to carry on this journey, and I'm going to ask you to join me in some meditation. I'll guide you through it. So if you've never done this before, it doesn't matter. It's all easy. You can do this. We're not asking you to do anything that you've not done before. We're asking you to breathe. You've always known how to do that. Focus. You've always known how to do that. And just relax, which you do every night when you sleep. So you're well practiced. We're just bringing these things together. And I'm going to ask you to just follow my voice and guidance in this. If you're sitting, make sure you're sitting comfortably. You don't want to be crouched over. It restricts your breath. And if you're lying down, don't have your head crunched up on a pillow, because that will restrict your breath also. And restricting the breath isn't really the best of things for people in life. So we'll begin by taking 3 deep breaths together. Don't worry if you get a bit distracted. Don't make it an issue. Just come back to the practice and you'll get the most from this. So sitting comfortably, we'll begin. And it's up to you if you close your eyes on the first, second or third breath. Just whichever breath will allow you to relax and get the most out of this today. So let's take a deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. Just allow your eyes to close as you return to your natural breath. Just the gentle rise and fall, your own rhythm, your own tide. Tell yourself, I'm going to relax. I'm going to meditate. The everyday thoughts will not distract me. Everyday sounds will not disturb me. They all just help me relax and go deeper. Just take a moment to continue following your breath. Just be aware of where the breath enters the nostrils. That point, somewhere along the bridge of the nose where it cools the air. And just hold your attention on that point. As you breathe and relax. As you're sat there listening to this. I wonder just how much you can relax into this today and really get the most from it. As you continue just to follow your breath. Just pay attention to my words. There was a gardener who loved to garden. He loved that process of when you just take the soil, you take the time to nurture it. You take a seed and you plant that seed in the soil, where it has everything it needs, every opportunity to grow. He would place his seed tray with the seeds on a windowsill, where it would catch the warmth of the sun but still be safe and protected from the cooler weather at spring. And he used to sit, sometimes even talk and encourage those seeds to grow. He knew you couldn't rush that process, but that change and growth were inevitable, and sooner or later he would start to see the first telltale signs at the tips of those seedlings just pushing up through the soil. It can feel really good when we notice signs of growth in our life. Just imagine that. And he would water and he would tend to, and he would feed these seeds, and they'd start to grow and grow. They got to about an inch or so long. And then he'd take the time to take each one out of the soil and pop it into its own pot, give it its own attention, its own space. And having that space to grow and to be nourished. Where do you find that? As you discover more of that, now he would take time to again feed and water, and when he felt the weather was right, because he'd invested time, he'd place those seed pots out into the everyday world, allowing the sun and the water from the rain to water and feed them. Just allowing them to do their own thing, growing bigger and stronger each and every day. It reminds me, I was talking to someone the other day where, when you're little and you're young, you look up at different people and you think to yourself, oh, one day I'll be big and strong like that, or I will be able to do that thing. And I remember being a little Rob, and I was on a park at a festival, and there were some big kids all jumping off a pipe that had been buried in the ground for a branch on a tree and then swinging on it. And I wanted to do that thing. I guess in some ways they were like role models, and we can step into our role models and really learn from their journey, from their doings and their mistakes. And the one day I made that mistake, I jumped up on the pipe after they'd gone and I launched myself for this branch, and they were taller than I was. My fingers touched the branch and they slid off the branch, and I went down realizing that there was a bank the other side of this pipe. I hadn't really thought about that. I kind of hit the ground, and I think maybe I was knocked out kind of for a little while, deeply unconscious. And when I came to, I was aware that my arm hurt, and indeed it turned out I'd fractured that arm. And so I went to the hospital, see the professionals and people who know what they're talking about, people with the experience. And it's when you get time to spend time with people who've really walked a path, people who've really journeyed. I remember having ran a group gathering, group ritual up on Glastonbury Tor many moons ago. And I was approached at the beginning by a visiting guru, an Indian gentleman who was over teaching, and he'd asked, could he contribute? Could he say some words about the gathering? I guess some people would have panicked because, I've got a script, got to stick to it. But I just felt it was right that he could do that. And we're doing the ceremony, and about 300 people there. Comes the point, give him a nod, and he comes and shares his wisdom. And we had a beautiful day, and the sun was shining. You can just imagine that. And afterwards, he approached me wearing his traditional yogi outfit, and he came and sat with me. I was sat there, my work there was done, so to speak. And as he sat there, he rested a hand on my shoulder and he said, you have great power within you. The ability to grow and transform is yours. It always has been. And I wonder, now you know that, What is that you can do to allow yourself to change and grow, become the best version of yourself? Sometimes people ask you a question that really stops you. You don't really know immediately, consciously, the answer, but there's a part of you that knows the answer to that already. And I guess part of the journey has been discovering that. And the journey I made in the ambulance to hospital, discovered I'd fractured my arm, and they bound it up and got the cast signed as you used to do. And I went back when my arm was better. And having learned, having failed the once, well, not failed, there was no failure, I just learned how not to approach it. I did it differently, and I jumped for that branch. And I reached up and I grabbed it, and I swung there on that branch. And you know, the gardener, as he watched his plants grow and grow and grow and branch out, felt more joy and more happiness, because he realized that everything that is needed for growth, everything that is needed to transform and change, is already there within. And eventually these plants he grew into tomatoes, and trusting that growth, that wisdom is there, always bears fruit. And just become aware of the tips of the toes. When you're ready to return back and embrace this day, full of that, just knowing that everything you need to transform your life, to grow and better yourself, to cultivate yourself, is there within you. When you're ready to know that, feel that, trust it and believe it, then and only then just start to return back, becoming aware of the tips of the toes, your fingers, your hands, your legs. Have a fidget, have a wiggle, maybe a bit of a move. And when you're truly ready to embrace the day, the opportunities, the blessings and the possibilities of personal growth that it brings, open your eyes, stretch, feel good, be back here, be now. Absolutely joy sharing that journey with you today, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, so Friday tomorrow. So take care, have a great day. Do check out the website www.theiMeditateClub.co.uk, and if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, like, share, all that stuff that makes the world a better place. Take care. Bye bye.